Hi, Stitchy friends. I'm Judy, and this is my Floss Tube stitching bunny. Now I think we're on episode number 18 today, and it is the 21st of May, Tuesday. Gloomy day here, expecting some pretty bad storms this evening in Wisconsin. So we'll just see what develops. Right now, we're going to try and get through this without any major weather disruptions. I have a lot to share with you. It's been a little while since I did my last video. No excuses, no apologies. It's just I haven't gotten around to it. And I kept saying I wanted enough to show you. Unfortunately, right now I have way too much to show you. So I overdid it in a bit of time. But that's just giving you the signal that it's time for you to find a great project to work on. A nice comfortable sofa to sit on, put your feet up, get yourself a beverage of your choice, and let's just sit back and enjoy Floss Tube together. I just want to share all these things. I'm so excited. I have just lots and lots of stuff to show you. I think the best thing to start off with would be our finishes. I have a couple. Actually, I have three. One of them I didn't bring up here, and I'm not going to run down and get it because it's something I'll show you when it's finished. It's in the process of being finished, well, which is why it's in my quilt studio downstairs. So I have two that I have finished, and I'm sure you're familiar with both of these charts. This was a new one at Market this year by Scarlet House, and this one is, let me get the name right here, A Stitcher's Alphabet. And I think this, I know it's on a 40 count. I'm not quite sure what this was. It was kind of a scrap fabric that I had, and I'm not sure really what it is, but it is a 40 count. And I like the modeling on this. I know a lot of it hasn't been shown with anything other than a solid linen, but I do have the board to go with it. That it'll be mounted on. I think it'll look really nice. Just enough of modeling on there to show some age, or it should look like it has some age. So that's Stitcher's Alphabet, 40 count, and it was stitched with the called for DMC. I have to remember there's so many that I have this time. Okay, the other one that I do have finished that I'd like to show, and that she's going downstairs too to be finished very shortly. This is Maggie May from Stacy Nash. And the only reason she's not downstairs in the finishing room is because I have a couple of little tiny white buttons I want to put on her sweater that are sitting here. I haven't stitched those on yet. Then I'm going to make her into a stand-up. And here's her little radish. It's going to be her needle book that she'll have with her. I saw today on, must have been Facebook. I don't think I looked at Instagram today. But it was a Facebook post of somebody finishing her. She was already made into a stand-up, but she had her standing in like a little metal wagon with some little toys or something on the front of the wagon, and her little needle book was standing, at the base of the, like by the little wheel of the wagon. It was so cute, just so cute. So I'm going to have to find something to put Maggie in. I am working on one of the others right now that I'll show you in my whips. But she just turned out so cute. She was a lot of fill-in, but, I like the fill-in when we're sitting and watching TV in the evening. I outlined her, and, the fill-in went so fast. So that's her. And I did change her little shoes to red because she needed a little red Mary Janes. I had a pair of those when I was a little girl. In fact, I had a pair not too many years ago. being an old girl, just thought they were so cute. So she had to have little red Mary Janes. So that's my little bunny. So Maggie May. The other one that I finished was Circle of Friends, and that one, I think I might incorporate that into a project bag. So she's in the quilt studio right now. Okay, that was my finishes. New starts. I a number of new starts, like I don't have enough whips, but Maggie May was started and finished. The Stitchers Alphabet was a new start, and she's finished. Circle of Friends, the one downstairs, was started and is a finish. I started one of the other Stacy Nash little critters, and I'll show you her in a bit. Oh, and my other new start, I have a Blackbird new start. I haven't stitched a Blackbird in a long time, so it seemed like that was an appropriate thing to do for the summer. And my finishes was my Maggie May, my Stitchers Alphabet, and my Circle of Friends. So I really got quite a bit done this month and a half. I think it's been since I recorded last. So that's my finishes right now. I think we should move on to whips and show you what I've been. These are just my whips I've worked on since I recorded last. So this isn't by any means, a whip parade where this is a total amount of things that I am working. And these are things just currently working on, not that are sitting and waiting to be worked on, given a little love. Those, we're moving those in and cycling those through as much as possible. So my first whip is something I saw this, I got my hands on it and kitted it up that day and started it. This is the brand new one by Blackbird Designs, a little bit of spring. And I just love this. I am a pink and red girl, and my house, I love houses. I love the berry baskets, the florals. I have to have birds. It is the perfect sampler for me. Perfect colors. I don't have to change a thing. Not that I normally do, but it's like it was designed for me. So that's was one of my new starts. And I really had a difficult time with this one. With the border, for some reason, this border would not settle into my mind where I could just stitch it. And it's not that I wasn't counting and following the chart, because there was one or two places where the repetitive border, had a change in it for it to fit properly. And I didn't miss that. I got all of those in, but for some reason, I don't know, I was just always off somewhere. I tried to meet those corners, and boy, I think my husband counted 4 times that I ripped out. The 5th time, one side of the border. The 5th time, I did finally get it in, but then I realized after I got that in that the connecting bottom border was wrong. So I had to rip that out. It was quite a struggle, but I wouldn't give up, because I love this. So this is where I'm at now. Let me kind of move this back. There we go. And I'll bring it up closer so you can see. The border is in. It's proper. It matches. I couldn't live with, at one point I had just fudged one of the corners. These 2 bottom corners have like those little fleur-de-lis in here that aren't quite anything specific. They're just to match the corners. So that's what I had done. I had got down to, this was the border I had so much trouble on. I got down here, this one was fine, and then I found that I was off on the bottom. So I took that out back to where the mistake was, which was all the way back here, and corrected that. So I finally had that put in. Last night I finished the inner border, the little rickrack type inner border. No problem with that one. That one in, no problem at all. It's just that it, took a little bit of time because it was all the way around. And I was counting because I was not going to have the same issue with that border. And then I finally got to start in on the alphabet. So I'm just, I'm whipping along now, boy. I'm just thrilled to death with this. And I should tell you, this is being stitched on a 40 count Spindrift by Cedar River Linen and Design. And I have bought a couple of her pieces because I wanted, to see the linen, see the colors in person. So I did buy several of her fat quarters. So they've just been sitting in my pile of, stash, I guess, of 40 count linen that I seem to be overflowing with. Anyway, I love the color of this. I thought it deserved, first of all, a beautiful piece of linen, which this is. And the color just seemed perfect. I did a floss toss on the linen. I am doing this in the overdyed called for. I think they're almost all weeks, if they're not all weeks. I think they are. Oh, nope, I take that back. There's one that's a classic Colorworks. But these are the colors on the linen. And you can see they're real pretty reds and pinks, and we'll see what else happens, as we move along. It's a very minimal start right now as far as the actual design goes, but I think it's just going to be lovely. And now that I actually have my act together, and I've been able to correct my errant ways, I think we're going to, zip along just fine. And this one, I haven't put this down for the past week. So all my other whips that are sitting here have had their love earlier in the 6-week span since I recorded last. But, okay, so that is a little bit of spring. Let me set this down. Okay, my next whip, I've had this one for quite a while. I started this quite a while ago. This was another one of those where I just couldn't decide. I didn't like it. I started it over. The third time I started it, I fell in love with it. Because, again, I wasn't going to give up. And I'm going to the Spring Green Summer Camp. Not this weekend is Memorial Day. The following weekend, which is May 31st, June 1st, and 2nd, is the Spring Green Retreat that I'm going to. And Wishing Thorn is going to be there. Brigitte is going to be there as one of the 3 designers. So this one is Jane Parson, 1841. Originally started on 32 count, I believe, with the wool. Didn't like it. First of all, started off using the wrong color, and that did it because I had to rip all that out. I wasn't liking the way the wool looked anyway, so it was an excuse to say, no, let's move on. Then I tried using the flower threads. I wasn't happy with that either. I didn't like the look for some reason with this particular one. So I just said, I love it. I want to do it. Let's try DMC. So I did. And this is being stitched on 40 count Dead Sea Scroll by Seraphim. I finally decided on my favorite DMCs to do this. Got my colors here. Let me show you how far I've gotten on the piece. This is another one. Once I start stitching on this, I can't put it down. It's, I was going to try to have it done for Spring Green, but I think it's something that I'd like to actually take and stitch on and finish there. There's not much more to it. There is a lot of fill-in stitching, though, on the bottom. So it'd be a good one to actually take the retreat. I'll have all the over one done, I think, by then. All I have is this potted fruit tree here, just like the other side. That's a replica. Another doggy. I think another flower. But that whole bottom is striped fill-in. Different colors. I think there's a couple. I don't know if there's little flowers or sheep. I think they're just little flowers in there, the white portions. But that's all fill-in. So I think that would be just a super plan to take that and work on it. And these are my DMCs. Pretty much all of them have been used. So you can see the actual colors. But it's just lovely. I have enjoyed this so much. Now that I finally made the correct decision with what pleases me. Flowers and everything on this are so gorgeous. Love this piece. So that's my second whip. Jane Parson. And I hope to get to speak with Brigitte a little bit while I'm at Stitch Camp. I'm so looking forward to that. That was my second one. Let's see, which way was it going here? Okay, that's this one. Then my third one is Stacy Nash. This is the one I was speaking of. That it's a 2 that I had gotten from Market. I still haven't got my little mouse one that I want. I can't remember what her name is. You know, the little mouse with the spool and all. Yeah, she's the one I want too. The 3 that Stacy came out with for market. So when I get my hands on her, she's going to be another one. I still have Stacy's 2 Christmas doggies that I want to do. And then I have a number of the other little critters. So I've just fallen in love with these. I really have. So this is Hazel, as far as I've gotten on Hazel. And her, let's see, I have her chart out. Yes. This is what Hazel will look like. And she has a little heart pincushion that she has with her. And that I'll stitch that to match her. I just think the whiskers on these little guys are what's so cute. Here she is. And here's her colors. Some of these, I put the colors together that were for her and for the little mouse. So it could be other colors mixed in there. But most of those, the blues and all, that's what her little outfit's going to be done in. So that's my Hazel. And she's being done on a 40 count mystery linen little scrap that I had. Same thing that was Maggie May was done on. I just cut the piece in half, and the 2 of them are going to match on that. And this one last one I've worked on, not a whole lot, but I have worked on it. And this is the big, awesome project from Homespun Needleworks. Get my piece of linen out here. This is being done on Mason linen, 40 count, and I think it's medium dark or something, whatever came with the kit, because this was an exclusive through Homespun Needle Arts, or Needleworks, I'm sorry. And this is how far I've gotten. This is half. This is the first, the part on top where it stops is the middle of the chart. And she's a lot of work. She's intensive, but God, it's beautiful. I'm just doing her with DMC. I wasn't real fond of the thought of the overdyes for some reason myself. The majority of this chart, which I should show you, is just small motifs. The house is filled in, but it's brickwork. You know, I can always pull the color for that if I want overdyed on that, or the grass. But the majority of it is just little tiny motifs. And I thought, I'm afraid it would look kind of splotchy rather than it, you know, being a solid color. I wasn't sure I'd like it. So I'm doing it just in the DMCs, which are these gorgeous, 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 gorgeous colors. It's like candy ribbon, isn't it? Oh, just beautiful. And I'll show you up close. This is, I mean, the colors are just magnificent. It looks like it's being done in silk to me. And that was also an option. I guess, you know, it was the thought of it was a large investment to start with. And adding the expense of the silk to it just almost made it to me to be beyond what I should be spending on a project with, you know, having so many other things to stitch. But this is gorgeous, and I'm so glad I have it. I'm so glad to be stitching it. And I can't wait to get back to it. So that is our Charlotte Warrington. I don't even know if I told you that. Charlotte Warrington, 1838. It's done by Needlework Press. And it is an exclusive through Homespun Needle Art. Nobody ever remembers that, do we? Let's see. We got this from Colorado Cross Stitcher too, from her shop, which she's wonderful. I don't see the name of the group on here. It would help. Homespun Needle Arts, I'm almost sure is what it is. You can check in the Facebook group, or, you know, do a search on Facebook. Because you have to be a member of the group on Facebook to be able to get the exclusives. So she's a beauty. Just a beauty. Okay, so those are the things I've put some time, love into the last 6 weeks or so. But I did make a lot of progress, I believe. I think that was, a majority of it was a lot of stitching time and a lot of, made progress on all of them, I guess is the way I should say it. So let me put those aside. Okay, I have a little list here because I have so many things today. So that was my whips. I did mention going to the Spring Green Retreat. And I have mentioned it on my last video, but that was quite a while ago. So the one thing I did want to say about the Spring Green Retreat, I haven't been to a cross-stitch retreat in many a year. I think the last one I had mentioned was 1992, and I know that because that's the year that I lost my first husband. And at that point, my life totally changed. Everything changed in my life. And retreats just, for one thing, they weren't practical for me. I was alone. I had a house to take care of. I had a full-time job. I had doggies to take care of. So the retreats were kind of out of the question, and I never really got back into them. I don't know that they're, in those in between 30 years, that there were, at one point, I don't know that there were a lot of them. The ones that had been around, a lot of them had gone by the wayside. Or I just wasn't, being notified of them anymore because I wasn't going. So I started quilting again heavily at that point. I went to a few quilting retreats because those were plentiful with being up here in Wisconsin and, the surrounding areas. Quilting is just, a wonderful time filler here, and a lot of quilt shops, along with a lot of cross-stitch shops. We're very fortunate here. So anyway, I had gone to a lot of quilting retreats that were close by. So that was my, playtime after a while. But going to this one coming up in a week and a half is so exciting to me. I know Carol from the Saltbox Stitcher said she was going. I watched her video yesterday, her current one, and she mentioned she was going with her sister. I know last year they had 100 people there. I don't know if Jeannie has expanded that or not, but I assume it's at least the same amount. So I'm hoping there's a lot of floss tubers there, a lot of ladies that I've talked to through my floss tubes and, through comments and all. And I just hope I can put a lot of faces to names, and I can fangirl, the whole weekend. The only thing is I'm not staying because I live, 45 minutes away from Spring Green. So I'm just driving back and forth during those 3 days. And Friday, I get, or Thursday, I believe there's like a dinner Thursday night, a welcome type thing. I'm not sure I'll make it to that. But anyway, please, if you do watch my floss tube, if you've seen me, if you know who I am, please come up and say hi. I'm hoping to make the rounds, but with at least 100 people there, I'm not sure how much visiting I'm going to get to do, or how much stitching I'm going to get to do, because there are 3 designers that are going to be there. So it's not going to be, a lot of free time from what I can tell, and I still have to get stitching time or shopping time in too. So anyway, that's what I'm doing the end of the month, and it was my birthday present from my sweet husband. So I'm thrilled. I can't wait to go. So again, stop, say hi. Don't feel you can't come over, and if you don't like my videos, come over anyway and tell me what you don't like about them, and I'll try and improve. Okay. All right, that takes care of that. Now, plans. What I think I'm going to do, I'm going to show you a couple of things that I have planned that I want to start soon. There's one I mentioned, my birthday is coming up the end of June, and that's what my retreat was, my present for my husband. However, there's also a very famous person that has a birthday who is, her birthday is exactly a week before mine in the same year. So she is a year older than me. I think we're sisters from another mother or something, but Sarah Stitching Spot. Sarah is, her birthday is June 20th. So we have become friends online from our floss tubes and all. And she is just as she is on her floss tube. She's one of the sweetest, kindest person I think I've ever met. And I wish she was coming to the retreat. I would love to give her a big hug and spend some time, quality time, talking to her face to face. And maybe that'll happen someday. We'll see. But anyway, June 20th is her birthday. June 27th is my birthday. So she contacted me a couple weeks ago and wanted to know if I wanted to do a birthday stitch along with her. And since our birthdays were so close, and I thought, oh, what a great idea. I always do a birthday start. And I would have just picked something out of my stash to do it. But because Sarah invited me, it was perfect, just perfect opportunity to say, certainly, I would love to work on a project with you. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Excuse me. I'm trying to reach things here that are on the, as before. My room hasn't gotten any bigger. I just have more garbage in it. So I have everything sitting around me here. First of all, our birthday start is going to start on June 24th because we figure it'll be the midpoint between our two birthdays rather than starting on one birthday or the other. So it's going to be June 24th. The hashtag will be hashtag 2birthdayGirls. And what we have chosen to do, Sarah wanted to stitch this. I haven't stitched it. So I agreed, certainly, I'd love to stitch it with you. I started my search of getting the chart and the floss, and I have not picked out a linen yet, but that's not going to be an issue. I have quite a bit. I know I want to do it on 40 count. And this sample, or the picture on the chart, is very modeled, so I think I'd like to do something like that too. But anyway, what we are going to do, we're going to start Florence Mary Dickinson. And this is a hats chart that was an exclusive for Hobby House. And this has been out a while. I know, in fact, Sarah's had it. And she says she's been dying to start it, so this gave her the perfect opportunity. And I had no problem with that. I said, it's lovely. I told her, sure, that's a great one. We'll do that together. So this is her. This is Florence Mary. And she is, let's see if I can give you an idea. I did order her through Hobby House. I don't know if she's available anywhere else now or not. I'm not sure when this came out. See if I see anything on the back here. I don't really see a year or anything. So I'm not sure about it being available in other shops or not. But I'm sure, if you want to join us, certainly if you don't have the chart, it'll be easy enough for you to find, I'm sure. On 40 count linen, she's going to be 12.65 inches by 14.85 inches. So, 12 and a half by 15 roughly. So that's, and I've decided I'm going to do her, there was a conversion of her floss through Vicki Clayton. And it's, all the bright colors, but I'm doing it with the Vicki Clayton silks because she does deserve silks. And as I said, I haven't picked a linen yet, but I will because she's in my plans. That time is coming. It's just a tad over a month away, so I'm going to have everything all set to get started with Sarah on the 24th. So please join us if you'd like. We'd love to have a bunch of you stitching with us. It's a beautiful sampler. You wouldn't be disappointed in what we've chosen, I hope. And, think about it. You can mark our, hashtag us, and we can see your progress, and I would love it. I would, the more the merrier, especially at our age, I know, since we were both born in the same year, you're going to know how old Sarah's going to be, and I think she even mentioned it on her floss too, but we're going to be 73 next month, so that's a celebration for the both of us, for sure. The other things I have planned, I've pulled these things out, and I just, there's things that just grab you, and as soon as you have your chart in your hands, you go, yeah, I'm going to have to stitch that. now sooner rather than later. So that's exactly what we're doing, what I'm doing. I figure at this point in my life, since, we all know there's no cross-stitch police. We can pretty much do whatever we want. I'm my own boss. I have my own scissors and linen and needles, so, and nobody's going to yell at me. My husband doesn't yell at me. He's the only one I worry about, so I can do whatever I want. So this is one of the ones we're going to be starting very soon. And hopefully you'll see these with new starts on my next floss tube. But this is called Be Done in Love. And this is from the Artsy Housewife. And something about this just grabbed my heart. Let all you do be done in love. And obviously, cross stitch, our wonderful favorite craft, is something that we all love. And I think that this is just, it's something that has to be in my stitching room. I'm going to be doing this in, it looks like this is a mystery. It's a 40 count mystery. But I thought it was really kind of close to what's shown in the picture. It could change before I actually start it, but I did pull this out. And I did a floss toss. And this is being done with overdyes, a couple of DMCs, or maybe just one DMC, some classic color work, some weeks, Simply Shaker. Oh, we got all kinds of stuff in here. So these are not all carded yet, but that'll be the colors. I want to show the pink on there, the blues. I think that'll be really pretty. So that's in we're going to start this very soon list. That's one of my plans. And, it's going to be a long summer. I totally dislike summer. I'm not a girl that likes the heat. I'm not pretty in the heat. I'm crabby. I don't like being sweaty, and, you can't avoid being sweaty. So, I totally dislike the summer. So, I'm planning on having a lot of indoor activities with the air conditioning on. Even though I live in Wisconsin, it gets warm. It gets very warm here. So, this is going to be why I have so many new starts. This is another one, and this has been out a little while, 2022. It's called At Home with Thy Needle and Thread. Look at that. My house, my brick house. Reindeer. There's my fruit trees, all my evergreen trees, little birds. Beautiful border. And the saying on here says, for genuine happiness, we need not roam, 'tis doubtless found with little ended home. And that is so me. I am such a homebody. I don't ever have to go out, and I'd be happy. The only reason I would say, okay, I really, really, really need to go out is when I have my floss emergencies and I have to go to Lynn's to stock something, for a project. I just have to have. But I love this. I don't have a linen pulled out for that yet either. That was kind of a recent decision. And obviously you can see that I don't have all of my flosses in order yet. But just these teals and the peaches, gorgeous. And I still have a list of things I need to get. I'm missing a number of quite a few overdyes. So I'm waiting for those, and then I'll do a floss toss and pick out my linen. But this is definitely going to be a summer start for me. It's me. She designed that for me. And by the way, Brenda Gervais is going to be one of the other, or I should say, a designer at Jeannie's Country Sampler Retreat. So I am truly looking forward to that. I have never met her. I've actually not even seen a picture of her, I don't believe. I don't know what she looks like. So I hope I recognize her, someone tells me who she is. Points her out to me so I don't make a fool of myself. Another one I must start. This is, I think, my last plan. Let me see. Yes. And I think this is quite enough to keep me busy for the summer. This is the exclusive I just got from Whilst Iris Naps. It's Sophia Neal, 1832, and it's a Norfolk sampler reproduction. Look at this beauty. Now, if you go to Whilst Iris Naps and watch, if you don't watch her floss tubes, you should be. She is wonderful. Obviously, I mean, look at this piece. It's just simply gorgeous. Set that down for a second. Let me show you. I even have my beautiful springtime bag here, or summer bag. I'm going to be doing this in the needlepoint silks. Just to feast on those silks, those colors. Let me put this back up. Look at those colors. Have you ever seen anything so gorgeous? Now this is a big girl. I should show you the linen also, first of all. Let me do that. Now this was an exclusive through Acorns and Threads. This is my linen. And let's see. It's not listed on here. Fabric options. Okay. This is, the model was stitched on this, and I'm sure that that's what this is. Although it was stitched on, the model was stitched on 36 count. This is a 40 count that I have, and it's Sleeping Bear by Needle and Flax Linen. Take some things out of my hands here. So this is her. This is the beautiful linen. And we'll just feast your eyes on those silks again. Oh my God. Isn't that just beyond lovely? Oh. This is a big girl. The design size on 40 count is 13.5 by 19.5. And when I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought here. When you go to her floss tubes, I believe it's the last one, if not the one before. I think it was a floss tube strictly to present this and show you, what it was going to look like and all. She has hers obviously done and framed, and it's huge. It's just absolutely huge, but just so worth the time. Now, remember, I'm working on, Charlotte Warrington. That is probably the biggest sampler I've ever seen, let alone worked on. So I am working on that. That's already started. We have this one to start. Just a few things. But as I said, it's going to be a long summer because it's going to be hot and sticky. I might as well have something to keep myself occupied inside the house. And I think there's nothing more perfect than a few cross-stitch projects that will involve a lot of time. At least the Charlotte Warrington, we have 4 years to complete that one because that's a leap year start that we all just decided that maybe, yes, in 4 years we could get that one done. Although there's a lot of people I've seen on Instagram and Facebook that have quite a dent to put in her. Now, whether they keep up that speed or not, we'll see. But, yeah, there are a lot of people. It is hard to put it down. I'll have to say that one is very enticing. Okay, let me make sure. I think that was it for my future plans, too. Okay, I had to make my little list here because I had so much going on. Okay, I don't think there's anything else that I needed to talk to you about. The rest of the video will probably be my next little segment here, which is haul. And if you've watched any of my videos, or if you know me in the slightest, you know that I have a second cross-stitch hobby, which is collecting and fondling charts. I admit it. It's something that I'm truly addicted to. I have more charts than anyone could possibly stitch in a lifetime, let alone, a person that's already 73 years old. However, part of my love of this craft, and has always been part of my love of this craft, is just admiring the designer's work and being able to look at these charts and just admire the detail. Even if I never get to stitch them, they have been something that has given me such love and passion for my hobby, for needlework, that they were well worth the investment in the purchase. So I don't feel guilty. I don't neglect anything in my home or my family or, whatever with, what I spend on charts. So we don't vacation. We're not people that, take lavish trips or, our cars are average. And, so I have to say I'm not extravagant with anything else, but this is something I love. And it's the same way with my quilting that I still love to do. Unfortunately, with quilting and my eyesight being what it is, I have glaucoma, and it is affecting how I see things. My quilting has turned difficult because it's very hard for me to see at certain distances. Cutting my pieces for a quilt, unless they're large pieces now, to do the intricate cutting with a rotary cutter is dangerous for me. I can't see it accurately. I'm, missing a lot of my peripheral vision, and that changes. So it's not something I'm comfortable doing anymore. My business, stitching bunny bags, I still am able to do that type thing because they're large pieces. I'm not, piecing small things. My project bags and the project rolls that I make are, large. Quilted, I can see my sewing machine well enough to quilt, but as I said, that tiny, accurate piecing is something that, and because I can't really move my sewing machine, to where I can with my stitching, to where comfortable eyesight, it's very difficult. So anyway, I still work on that, but it's my stitching is, my hobby life right now. So I don't feel guilty. And there's, unfortunately, these designers keep getting better and better and better. There are more and more and more designers I am discovering, whether they're new designers or just new to me, just flooding the market with the most fabulous charts that I can picture being stitched. I can almost feel stitching them. Some of them this means so much to me. So those are the ones that are getting into the let's move these close up pile. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be here, or my eyesight's going to hang in there, or my arthritic hands are going to be able to handle this. But while I'm able to do it, while I still love it as much as I always have, if not more, I'm going to just keep on keeping on and do what makes me totally happy. So I'm going to do my stash enhancement now. I just wanted to let you know this is going to be kind of lengthy. So if you want to take a break, this is going to be part 2. If you, we aren't too bad. We're at like 45 minutes, so it hasn't been too grueling so far. However, the stash is plentiful. So if you'd like to stop here, I'm going to kind of switch things around a little bit so that I can move those closer to me, so it's easier for me to show you and push some of these other things aside since I'm kind of boxed in. So let me pause. If you want to stop here and check back later with part 2, that's fine. If you just want to stick around and, see my haul, that's fine. I've missed you guys. I still feel like I'm talking to you all right now, whether it's in a day or two or down the line, or I get to see you in Spring Green or maybe at another retreat coming up. Who knows? I do really, really appreciate you guys. I love every one of you, and you just make my day when you'll make a comment back to me that you've watched my video, or gee, we've missed you. Anything. It's so kind. It makes me feel so warm and cozy, and I appreciate every one of them. I truly do. So let me pause here and move my stash over here, and we'll start part 2. I'll be right back.